Hold on.
I am sorry. If I have to hear it one more time, I'm going to scream. I heard it just about 3 weeks ago. I was at Cheddar's with my mom and dad, and we were sitting there right after church on a Sunday afternoon. Now, I attend a Missionary Baptist church, an African American church, so you know I've been there all day long. But there's a possibility I was a little just cranky, on edge, because I was hungry, of course. So when my mom said this statement, it really stuck out to me, and it really disturbed me. She said, "Crystal, so when are you going to start dating? You don't want to be an old hag when you get married." Mr. President, my fellow members, and anyone that has ever felt pressure to speed up the progress of their life, can we just reap the harvest of this season? The Bible says there is a time for everything, and there's a season for every activity under the heavens. There's a time to embrace, and there's a time to refrain from embracing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my time to refrain from embracing. You see, I have learned that when you rush things like marriage and relationships, you usually get something that doesn't meet your expectations. Just look at the divorce rates right now. And besides, I've already learned the hard way what happens when you rush into something. See, the last person I dated told me that I would not be a doctor while he verbally and physically abused me. Now I understand why Paul says in 1 Corinthians that I wish everyone was single like I am. I tell young men and women in high school and in college, wait before you get into a serious relationship. Just take your time. Get to know who you are and whose you are before you get into something like that. So right now, this is a choice for me. You know, so I'm sorry, Beyonce, I didn't want him to put a ring on it. I'd rather be single and by myself before I deal with that. So, while I wait to see if even marriage is in store for me, I reap the harvest of this season of being single. I grow in strength, I grow in confidence, and I grow stronger with the relationship that matters most of all, and that is my relationship with Jesus Christ. Now, the word also says there's a time to be silent, and there's a time to speak. I am so glad I am finally speaking in Toastmasters. With this organization, I feel that I've grown so much, and I'm even able to speak Spanish in public, something I thought that I would never be able to do. Not that I never would be able to do, but that it was going to take me longer than what it's doing now. So I'm so thankful that I joined this organization. I'm thankful that I'm finishing my second bachelor's in Spanish at the University of South Alabama, and I should be finished with it this summer. God willing, I get the scholarship to finish in Costa Rica. So there's so many things going on. There's so many things for me to be thankful for in this season. But at times, I find myself wishing, gosh, I wish I was in medical school right now. I wish I was a healthcare provider, helping to fight obesity, helping to help with public health campaigns. But right now, I haven't made it there yet. There is a reason. There are some professional and personal goals that I'm trying to reach before I get into healthcare. So in this season and this harvest, I reap being able to study diligently, being able to work harder, and being able to speak. There's a time for everything, and there's a season for every activity. One of my most proudest achievements since graduating from Auburn is participating in AmeriCorps. I mentioned this during my icebreakers. I did AmeriCorps for 2 years. One year was with the South Alabama Regional Planning Commission, and the second year was with the Louisiana Primary Care Association. And with that experience, I learned so much. Most importantly, I learned that service is more important than money that you can make, or the lack of money in my case. I lived on a living stipend. I had to rely on food stamps during that time. So what kept me through it was being able to work hard, being able to teach children about obesity and diabetes, being able to teach Zumba for free for the entire community, and being able to coordinate a health fair for the entire city, something I didn't even know I could do until I did it through AmeriCorps. So with that season, I was able to learn invaluable skills that were transferable to the workforce, to the health ministry at my church now, and to hopefully when I become a physician as well. So there's so many things that come from this season that you are in. You have to reap the harvest of it. So let's reap the harvest of this season. Love, joy, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control, patience. You don't want to wait for anything. You want everything right now. But it may not be time for that. Right now, it's not time for me to be a healthcare provider. Right now, it's not time for me to be a doctor. But there is a time to embrace. There is a time to refrain from embracing. There's a time to speak, and there's a time to be silent. There's a time for everything, and there's a season for every activity under the heavens. Be patient where you are in this time in your life, and reap the harvest of this season. Mr. Toastmaster, Mr. President,